A $7,500 toy just blinded a $100 million radar. That's not clickbait, that's the opening move of a three-phase Ukrainian deception that turned Russia's Kolona corridor into a ghost field. Stay with me, we'll break down the decoy that forced a $1 million response, the FPV hits that collapsed the thermal picture, and the microjammers that froze the network for 90 seconds while a hidden team wired the marsh with sensors. By the end, you'll see how information, not firepower, opened a path to a 35-foot roof breach and a crater 170 meters wide. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. A cheap quad rolls into a radar gap. The expensive side fires first. Why did they blink?
Actions as a part of the spectrum of their hybrid war, which includes information warfare, arsons, assassinations, sending parcels with incendiary devices, drones deliberately sent into Poland. And of course, we have the right to defend our airspace, the security of our citizens and their property.
Do you believe that this is part of a Russian strategy of probing to see whether NATO is actually going to respond if it were to do things in NATO territory?
The decoy's job is simple: look like a bigger threat at the exact second the network is busiest. You build a clean, steady track, then slip it in while radar crews pass custody from one scope to the next. That handoff is where signals stretch and filters loosen. You don't shout. You whisper at the right time. Russia gets the dilemma in an instant. Ignore and risk a real strike slipping in behind. Engage and show where the teeth sit. They engage. Launch, track, command links light up. One blip pulls a whole cluster out of posture. This Falcon 8 throws a steady radar cross-section, then lets the ground help. It rides a marsh corridor where low water, reeds, and bank angles bounce returns just enough to thicken the picture. Not clutter. Just risk. Operators see a tidy line with believable speed and altitude. Consistency sells it. Modern networks live on track integrity. When the dots line up, software confidence ticks up, and humans follow. That loop burns interceptors, burns time, burns focus. The money isn't only in the missile. It's in the attention you steal. While the shot goes out, Ukrainian FPV scouts tail the noise cone. They stay a breath outside the main beams, mapping side lobes, counting pings, marking where sensors wake and where they sleep. Each shove of the antenna tells them more than a photo ever could. Timing is the lever. You hit during that thin radar handoff, fractions of a second when filters ease and spoofed patterns slip in clean. It's the David throw, not the sling. One smooth arc, at the right beat. Now the cost curve flips. Thousands force millions. But the real gain is not the boom, it's the hole in the picture that opens downrange. That gap is a path. The decoy never needed kills. It needed chaos. It buys a window, breaks rhythm, stamps coordinates for the next team. With the cluster distracted and emitting, Ukraine doesn't go loud. They go precise and start cutting the thermal eyes. How do $950 FPVs erase a multi-million-dollar thermal picture in under 2 minutes? By cutting the eyes, not the armor. Infrared sensor hubs sit high and exposed. Relay masts tie the view together. The S-500's optical thermal loop needs clean heat to confirm a kill. Take those nodes down, and the whole image blurs.
Then it sent a drone into Romania, and for 12 minutes on September 19th, 3 Russian fighter jets lingered over the skies in Estonia before NATO mobilized F-35 jet fighters to repel them. Another incursion of Russian drones into Polish airspace you might do more than shoot them down. There was an implication that NATO might take this battle to Russia.
And there are procedures for it. You intercept incoming drones or aircraft. You try to send them home, or you try to make them land.
Strike too early and you flagged your launch lanes. Strike too late and the radars calm down. So they stagger 4 stealth FPVs on offset bearings, each with a separate ingress line and a dead reckon last mile. No chatter. No hover. Each bird takes a square inch that matters. Lenses first. Cooling stacks next. You don't need to shatter the mount, you chip the glass and clip the heat sink. Thermal bloom turns to smear. Without sharp cues, intercept logic slows, mislabels, and drifts. A $1,000 drone deletes a $1 million eye when it lands the tip in the right seam. Meanwhile, microjammers go to work on the uplinks feeding heavy reconnaissance drones. Narrow bands. Short bursts. Think scalpel, not hammer. The uplink stutters, buffers, freezes. High-altitude spotters lose the clean feed without a big jamming footprint to warn the crews. Those microjams ride cover with biosmoke and soft bursts. The vapor runs colder than the air, and for a beat, hot reads go dull while cold spots flare. Acoustic soft bursts skew the sound map just enough to pull aim off center. For operators on the loop, it looks like the world blinks. Now the denial window opens, about a minute and a half where the picture can't be trusted. A 14-person ghost team moves subsurface. They plant beacons at steady intervals and lace hair-thin fiber for fast seismic returns. The ground starts talking back in real time. The field turns into an information lattice. Ukraine sees more with fewer signals. Russia sees clean-looking lies. Routes and roof angles appear, while patrols shift toward phantoms cast to the east. The path to the breach is marked and masked. With eyes cut and the net frozen, top attack missiles rise. They rake the 35-foot roof. The crater answers every question. Information wins the first minute. When the other side's eyes lie, their guns follow them into error. Decoys, FPVs, and microjammers turn soft tools into hard outcomes by breaking trust in the picture, then cashing in on hesitation. If you want more breakdowns of tactics that flip cost curves, decoys, jammers, FPVs, subscribe. Comment which phase you'd master first. Comment your choice below. The dam wasn't the point. The network was. And for 90 seconds, it belonged to the ghosts. For you, the lesson is simple: beat the sensors, and you bend the fight. The rest is just timing and nerve.